when I was 17, I used to work at Lowe's, and there was, we can just say an angry Karen that was just yelling at me because I gave her queso instead of sour cream. And then a black woman came up to me after she like did all that yelling, and she was just like, "Don't let that bother you." And ever since then, I don't let anybody bother me. Ever since then, I don't let nobody bother me. Also, I stopped working fast food. Thank you.
So it was my junior year in high school, and I was having like a really rough time. Just like that's when you start taking SATs and stuff. And it was my first time experiencing like depression, and I was having just like a really day, and I ended up taking an Uber home from school. And the Uber driver, like, I guess she just saw that I was like, I don't know, in a bad place, and she really spoke to me and ministered over my life. I don't know, I don't really consider myself Christian, but she just was like spitting and, you know, saying that everything was gonna work out and that I was a visionary. And yeah, it was really great, really memorable. So shout out to her.
When I was loading mulch into a guy's truck for Lowe's, and he just asked, he seen I had his Rose Hudson shirt on, and he asked me if we still drinking down here. So I was like, I said, nah, me, not of course not. But I guess, you know, that's the persona of George Hudson. That's first thinking in my head.
Pretty wild. He was flirting with me and I wasn't with it. Wanted my socials and everything, I wasn't with it. He literally said he was gonna arrest me if I didn't give him no information. I still did it. I was gonna get arrested that day. I didn't care. But
I remember one time I was about to order some food. I walked into this restaurant, and it was a vegan restaurant called Go Vegan Cafe. They sold like burgers. Yeah, really good, very good. Missy, they closed down now. But the guy, I guess he was an owner or worked there, and I walked in, and as soon as I walked in, he's just like, wow, your energy, your everything is just like, it's speaking to me right now. You have very masculine but like feminine, like it's like very well balanced. And I was just like, thank you. Like, I don't know, like it was just a very weird like thing, because I never seen this man before, and he just like automatically saying this. He's like, I could tell that you have a masculine forehead and all of this, and I was just like, where you getting this from? And he's just like keep going on and on and on, and just like speaking more and more about my features, and it's just like, yeah. And I never seen him again. Like, he kind of disappeared after that. Like, I don't know, like he was telling me something about myself that I was probably conscious about, and it was just like, it's like, you know, beautiful, I guess.
I can say it's my friend over here. She's not a stranger anymore, but she was a stranger to begin with. I remember, like, I think it was the first day of classes, conversation with professors specifically. And this is like my freshman year, so like this is like my first time on campus, period. I turned around and I saw her, and like I didn't mean to turn around. It's because like I was walking hella slow. I was walking slow as hell, and I thought like, okay, now she probably thinks I'm weird for just like turning around like that. So I was like, okay, I might as well be your friend, and that's the end.
So I was working at a candle store. It was a black-owned business. It was pretty fire, and there was these like. It was two black women and this older gentleman. They walked in, and they just looked like normal people, you know. I worked, so I'm used to customers coming in and out. I'm teaching people how to make candles all day. So I'm sitting them down. They're listening to the music we playing in the store. One of the ladies gets up and starts like grooving. Like, I'm talking about like dancing her. Can I curse? She started dancing her tail off for real. Like, she just started going crazy, and I was like, wow, y'all, you're grooving. She said, oh, you don't even know the half. We really line dancers for real. I said, what do you mean? She said, no, like we travel the country to different like recreation centers and line danced in competitions. I said, they do that? She said, yes. You want to see a video? Show me a video of her line dancing. said, you got some songs that like you guys like really didn't do? She said, you can turn on anything. We got anything for it. So I turned on like some like 90s R&B, you know, just something you can groove to, step to. And I'm telling you, we moved the table, cleared out the table, and it's like 3 of them doing full routines in the middle of our candle store, like full routines. It was crazy, but they were so happy. They had wine, and they just looked like so joyous. There was no care in the world, just but to dance, you know. And after that, like my whole day was made. Like they left, got their candles, and like dipped. And I was like, wow, those are some great black people.
I'm from California. So California, you have the boardwalk on the ocean, and so I'm just walking, right, and it was me and my dad. I was probably around, say, 10, 11, and like he looked like a homeless guy. And so I walked up to him and I was like, you know what, tell me your story. So he told me his life story. My dad went off to go do his thing. And then before like I got up and left because I saw my dad like wave me over, he was like, you know what, thank you for talking to me and listening to me. Here's $100. He gave me $100. And I was like, what is this for? You need this more than me? Like, I see that you're going through hard times. He was like, no, I just wanted to see somebody give back or just hear me talk. He's like, that was crazy. But he told me a lot of things that I take on with me today. Is that just like a lot of good things to remember how to delegate yourself to life. So it was really cool.
I was at work and I was having a bad day because who want to go to work? And she was just being stupid, like she didn't know how to swipe her card, and she made me mad. So that's the last stranger I remember meeting. It's a bad experience. 10 out of 10 won't work again.
When I was in Myrtle Beach, I was in a drown, and I could barely yell help. And a strange white man came and saved me. I remember it to this day. I was like, I want to say I was probably like 9 to 10. Right.
I remember it was when it was like the tornado warning that was recently, and like they came up to me and he was just trying to talk to me because my friend was waiting. I was waiting for her to pick me up for probably about a half an hour, and he was just talking to me and like I don't know, like it was kind of freaking me out. So it kind of made me feel better. Like he was just like asking me like what major am I and everything, and that's kind of what I remember. The last stranger that I think I like talked to.
The one time I was in a library back in my old school. I was going to Middle Georgia. She approached me asking me like where our class was, and she told me that I had like a certain presence to her. Like she said I could tell that you really believe in God, and she said like I can tell there's like spiritual presence within you. And she just prayed for me. It was like it made my day, basically. So I always remember that stranger.
So about 11 years ago, I met a little white girl in Rome, Georgia, in the pool, and she was cool. She gave me hella snacks, cause I ain't know no white people for real. And yeah.
I remember one stranger from downtown. He was drunk, and I remember him because he was rapping. He was talking about females.
Well, last week I went into the Gus Mart, and I usually get I normally get chicken tenders and fries because they be going crazy back there. But then I decided I wanted to get a sandwich. So I asked a stranger, hey, I normally get this. What would you suggest, like, if I wanted to get something different? And they told me to get a different type of sandwich than I normally would. And I got the different type of sandwich, and I enjoyed it. So I guess that's what I would say.
So my senior year of high school, me and my friends were like downtown partying or whatever. And then it was some random dude who we gave a ride from wherever we was at all the way to Atlanta. And I don't know, buddy. Hey, if you're watching this, hey, I don't know where you came from. It was funny, but yeah. And he came to Waffle House with us.
At Georgia Southern, actually.
I was just kicking it with some friends. Well, actually, before I kicked it with them, we was all in the Russell Union. And then I walked up to them. I was like, "What's up, y'all? What's up?" Y'all, "What's up, Jalen?" It was like the first week of school. So then we started sitting down and we chopping it up. And then I just noticed behind them is this girl, and she just being quiet the whole time. And I'm like, "Hey," and then we became friends from there. And she right here behind the scenes.
I'm not a stranger.
This is her.
You already told your story.
A stranger that, it was an angel. Like, my car broke down in the middle of nowhere. So I'm going down to Tallahassee to find you from Statesboro. It's a 4-hour drive. Boom, I'm driving down the street. We like 2 hours in a row, out of nowhere, my car just started smoking. And I took back roads, I ain't take the highway. So it's number back roads in this country, and all you see is fields, cotton fields, corn fields, and all that type of stuff. So my car break down in the middle of the country. This is like a horror story. Like, so I try to call my folks, and I got 0 bars. Like, you know how you get like 1 to like 4 bars? My junk was on 0, like roaming. I'm like, bro, I don't know nothing about the car. The junk smoking. So I'm like, what's going on? And it's literally one house on this long road. It looked like Courage the Cowardly Dog. Like, it was just one little house in the middle of nowhere. Just so happened, the lady who stayed in that house was coming down the street, and she saw me on the side of the road struggling, and she was like, "Hey, are you okay?" And I was like, "No, my car is smoking, I don't know what to do." And she was like, "My son know about cars." So I'm skeptical, like, hold on. She was like, "You can come to my house." And I'm like, "You ain't finna kidnap me." She's talking about something.
It was nighttime?
Nah, it was getting the nighttime. It was like 7 o'clock in the summer, so you know at 8 o'clock it's getting dark. So like, she's like, "You ain't no killer, are you?" I said, "No," but I'm thinking, "You ain't no killer, are you?" So I get in her car, because I ain't got no other option at that point. I told y'all my phone on 0 bars. Phone probably got 15% battery left on it. So I get to her house, and I'm thinking her son was just gonna be some crazy dude, but he was like, he drove me back to my car, which was like 30 seconds down the road. He was like, "Oh, it's just your AC valve popped off." So we went back to his house again, got some gallons of water, poured it inside my car, and then put the little AC tube back on it, and I was up and running. And that was my story, my little angel.
This girl I met not too long ago, she had a man and she didn't want to give me none that night.
That's the story?
Yeah.
She didn't want to what?
She didn't want to give me none that night.
Word.
I think that's a wrap.